We're on and we're back. Hello, Wildflowers.
Hello, it's been a while.
Happy New Year.
Oh,
Happy
yeah,
New Year. Hello.
Happy New Year. Number
93.
No idea.
93.
Okay, well, I'm Judy.
I'm Carol.
And I'm Peggy.
And we're the Wildflowers. Thanks
Yes.
for joining us.
Yes, it's we haven't seen each other.
No.
Before it was
Since before Christmas.
And I missed you ladies. It's just been so busy for all three of us.
Yeah.
It always is around the holidays.
Yeah,
you know.
it's crazy.
How were your holidays? Okay.
It was good. I have a question. Where
Okay.
did you get the TWA sweater?
Oh, this? Thank you. Well, my dad. I've had it for
that's
years.
right.
Oh, he worked for TWA?
He worked for TWAs for over 30 years.
Oh,
and
okay.
These sweaters, if I don't know if they used to be for the crew, but I know that they used to hand out really nice things to first class passengers back in the day.
Yeah.
You know, and this could have been one of those. I've had it for a very long time. I don't wear it that much because I try to keep it, nice.
Special.
But I love it. It's so comfortable.
It looks so comfortable.
It is. I love it.
When I used to work in Kennedy Airport, that was my favorite terminal to work in. I used to love it. And a few years ago, when we were going to Arizona, me and two of my sisters, I booked a room for us in the TWA terminal in the hotel because our flight was so early. I said, let's stay over, and I booked a room. And right on the runway, so you see all the planes taking off.
How was the room?
The room was very nice. It's small.
Okay.
But we had 2 double beds and just hanging out in the terminal. There's a bar there.
Yes.
Then they had the cocktail bar in the plane out on the runway. But unfortunately, while we were staying there that night, it was closed. They have a swimming pool up on the, it's on the roof, a swimming pool and another bar. It was really nice. And then when we were going to Ireland, I thought of doing it again, but the prices went up so much.
Oh, really?
And I said, oh my God. It was like, the cheapest room I think was like $600 a night or something. I said it's very expensive, so.
Yeah, that's not worth it.
Yeah, I know, but it was a good experience. But I used to love that terminal with the tunnels in it, and
I have a lot of good memories of TWA.
Yeah.
So
That's neat.
yeah.
I'm so glad that they didn't demolish that.
Me too. It's a beautiful building.
Yeah,
if anybody can take a look at it, is that growing up I called it the Butterfly Building because it did look like a butterfly.
Yeah.
And that was I'm so glad
I always liked TWA, and I liked Pan Am.
Yeah.
Pan Am, the building wasn't beautiful,
about
but you used to be able to go up on the Pan Am rooftop and watch the planes. This is before 9/11, and I'm talking about the 70s. I worked there. There was very little security in the airport, so
That's too funny.
yeah.
Wow.
So, but anyway, sorry to interrupt you.
No, not at all.
That's
How was your holiday, Carol?
Oh, it went by so fast, but I didn't do a whole lot, and I think next year I'm going to look forward to it more now because I needed that break.
Okay.
I feel like I did, but I did just get off the phone with my friend. He's the producer, John Barber, a little bit ago, and a mutual friend of ours, a publicist, lost his whole home in California, along with so many others. I just want to shout out.
It's devastating.
He had a whole bunch of, thank goodness he got most of that memorabilia, and Bob Hope had given him a lot of stuff because he used to work for Bob Hope. And I said, John, he goes, he got it out. He got that stuff out, but he has so much memorabilia. He worked with a lot of old-time celebrities.
Yes.
And but he lost his whole home.
I'm so sorry
along
to
with
hear
so
that.
many
So
others.
Looking at it in the news, it looks like Gaza. It looks,
Yes.
It's so devastating.
except for less people died.
Right,
Certainly,
right.
many less
And then
people.
now I feel like the resources are just spread so thin. I mean, the winds are not letting up now.
No.
And then you still have the firefighters who must be exhausted, right? And then the police must be exhausted. And now they still have to deal with this other issue of looting. I mean, the worst of
they
it,
pulled the National Guard is in
the
now.
National Guard. And
yeah.
it's like, my girls were watching it. We were watching, last night David Muir was doing a special, from Los Angeles.
Right.
And we were watching one of my daughters, it says, why do people do that? Why do they loot? And it's just it's such a conversation to have,
It was one of my last thoughts before I left the house because I had it on and they were talking about the looting. And I said, what is wrong with people? Why would you take advantage of these people who lost everything
Yeah.
Right.
to go in and find something probably not even usable anymore.
Yeah, it's just.
I don't understand.
Well, I mean, I'm sure they're doing the businesses. You know, I don't know about so much people's homes, but they're like.
No, they are doing homes
and
as well.
homes
And people
too.
homes too.
Yeah.
They
they're
definitely are.
scavenging to see what.
It's very
It's
frustrating.
despicable. It really
Well,
is despicable.
I don't have a whole lot of respect for humans anymore, anyway.
Well, I have respect for a human that we did lose since the last time we spoke,
Jimmy
which was
Carter.
President Jimmy
yes.
Carter.
Yes.
You know, he did
Yes.
pass away.
Yeah.
And I thought, what a life worth lived. You know,
Well,
lived.
what he did, he and Rosalind, just
Yeah.
phenomenal. Did you get a chance to read what or listen to what I sent you with?
No, Kamala, no.
What Kamala's
I
speech,
watched the whole thing on.
Yeah, what she said was just so. It was like. I feel like she cast her eyes towards someone every once in a while when she was
Biden
saying.
did too, and he was saying things
And I was
about
just
character.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Well, character's important, and I don't want people to take away that this was something about Trump, you know,
Right, right.
about it, because there were so many wonderful things said, you know, at this funeral, and I thought one of the, besides the posthumous eulogies by Ford and Mondale read by their sons, I mean, to know that before Ford and Mondale died, they thought so much enough of President Carter that they wanted to write a eulogy for their friends to be read, which I thought was so
Well, they
moving.
probably thought that they would outlive him. Who knew that he was going to be 100 years old?
Who knew? But still, I thought that was lovely.
Yeah,
and then,
definitely.
but I thought his grandson Jason.
Oh my! Was he the
Yeah.
one that got people laughing?
Laughing with the whole
Yes.
cell phone, but what I loved about it was that, you know, he was governor for 4 years, he was president for 4 years, and then 90-something else, he was just Pawpaw.
Yeah.
And not just Pawpaw, the work that he did. So to remember that, like, most people's accomplishments, if you achieve presidency, would be like the thing you talk about.
Yeah.
For him, it was just, and I also was president.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes,
You know,
yes,
which I think, what a wonderful thing.
Right.
And I look at it and I got a renewed sense of fresh air, just listening and
Even
reflecting
the way
on his
he
life.
lived, he never left his house in Plains.
Love
He
that.
lived in that little house.
Covers the refrigerator with
I know. Yeah.
Yes.
And they didn't remodel it or
Yeah.
anything, just, you know.
I loved it.
Yeah.
And the
Yeah,
foresight that he was targeted in climate change back
In
then.
1978, he
Yeah.
put solar panels on the White House. I had no idea that
No.
he did
Yeah.
that.
No.
He
And Reagan
created
took
the
him down.
Department of Education.
Yeah.
You know, the long-term plan, you know, which he could see long
He
term.
looked to the
I
future.
think somebody said at the eulogy, I don't know who it was, but he was far-sighted, which worked to his detriment, I think, in some case, politically.
Yeah.
Right.
But as a
That's
human,
Right.
what vision he had.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that we should pour wine and raise our
Oh, yes.
glasses to him.
That's a good idea.
You know.
Okay, so I brought this Côte d'Aron. It's Halos de Jupiter.
Just
you
a little
can
bit.
smell it. You can
Yes.
smell it.
Yes.
Yeah, so Judy is still on her sabbatical.
I'm on a sabbatical, a year-long.
You just want to
off of
smell it too,
alcohol.
right?
No, say
Quiet.
I'm dog sitting, so now I have another barker in the house. She's not usually barking all the
It
time.
smells delicious.
It does smell good.
For anyone counting, I'm nearing my 9th month.
Wow.
Sadie.
No, you don't get
No.
wine. You don't get any
Oh,
wine.
it smells so good though. Oh,
Does
I
smell
love
good.
the color too.
So anyway, this is our French wine, Halos de
Ooh,
Jupiter,
perfect for
Côte d'Aron. It's well balanced, fruit forward, good depth, red and black cherry with plum and something leaf. I can't read my own handwriting. Spice and a hint of smokiness.
Sounds like everything I would love.
Okay, well, let's raise our glasses to President
President Carter.
Carter.
Rest
May
in
you rest
peace.
in peace.
Thank you so much for your service.
And Happy New
Cheers.
Year
And
to
I'll share
everyone.
with
Happy
us.
New Year.
Happy New Year.
It's medium bodied,
Oh, that's different.
moderate tannins.
I definitely taste the spice.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
I love the spice in the wine. I love spiced wine.
It's so good. No, I'm kidding.
When I go to Paris, I'll have to look at. I'm going to
I
Paris
ordered
in the
it
spring.
Yes.
because Jessica wanted, she likes a little peppery in her
Me
wine.
too, yeah.
And this one, I searched it out. So this is actually a blend. It's mostly Grenache.
Okay.
About 50%
Oh, I like
Grenache with smaller portions of Syrah and Mourvedre. I never heard of it. Mouvedre. Mourvedre. Never heard of it.
Okay. Well,
Very nice.
Cheers. It's
Cheers.
good. I like it.
I like it too. And it might be because I haven't had wine in a while. I had a stomach issue, and
You
then I
can't
just.
say a while.
It's good. Well, compared to you, no, I can't.
This has very
Yeah.
strong legs.
Oh yes, let's see about the legs. I
So
haven't
this,
done that in a
and
while.
maybe anything I would drink I would like, but this is particularly
Yeah, it's good.
It's got
Good.
very good legs.
I would give
Yeah.
it 5 wildflowers.
Yeah, it's pretty
Oh,
good.
good.
I would give it like 4.5. I would like it a little more full body. This is a
Oh,
medium
okay.
body,
Okay.
but this is absolutely delicious.
I have
Okay,
not
I-
seen Jupiter.
No.
So where did you buy
Palos
it?
de Jupiter. I got it
Don't read the
in
alcohol.
Total Wine. And I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say 14% for legs.
For legs?
I mean for alcohol content. I said because of the legs. I'm gonna say
Oh, okay.
14%.
Wait, let me take another sip.
Yes, it'll come to you then.
Okay, wait. 14.5.
Right on the nose.
Wow, it did
14.5.
come to you.
That was a lucky guess.
And how much do you think it is?
Oh,
It's hard
okay.
for me to say. Since I haven't tasted it.
$14.95.
No, I'm gonna say
I'm
$18.99. Was she right?
Did you look at the
I
card?
swear
I have it right here.
Oh my God! I swear to
That's
God, I did
It's
not.
$14.99.
Oh,
That's a good value then if it's that good.
That was at Total Wine. I looked at it in other places,
Oh, so it'd be a little
and it was
more.
like $19.99 or
All right.
$18.99. So
okay.
Total Wine had it on sale for $14.99.
All right, so typically, all right, that's not bad.
yeah,
I have a word.
I'll have a word with you, Carol.
Okay, the word is cherry, spelled Chary.
Cherry.
Yeah.
It sounds like something to do with being charred or charcoal.
No.
No.
No, but I like the way you gave that.
Is it like hard work?
Most people are chary of allowing themselves to be photographed.
Oh, wary.
Yep, yeah, cautiously suspicious, not suspicious, reluctant.
Yeah.
Or, yeah. And I'm trying to think where, I think I found this word in the book I was reading that I will review in the future. And I was like, oh. And it's such a simple word, but I've never seen it used
I've never
that way.
seen it.
Chary. Yeah.
Very good.
So,
All
yeah.
of you high school students that we know are watching,
Yep.
SAT word right there,
There you
cherry.
go. Yeah, there you go. And that's how it's pronounced too. I was like, is that how it's pronounced? But yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I feel like this isn't working.
No, it is.
Is it?
We're just saving some time.
Yeah. Word times are. What are you doing?
I thought I had a word too, but I don't see it, so I guess I don't.
I
It
do
must
not
have
have a
fell
word.
out.
No, I usually write them down,
Oh.
like I have them here.
Well, what about the book that has lots of words? Who's doing the book?
You're doing the book.
Oh wait, no, I think I'm doing the book and the topic combined.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh,
yeah.
that's right. That's
Right,
right.
okay.
So let's get going.
Yeah.
Okay, yes, all right. So yeah, this is a little. I got confused who was doing what, and it's
I'm
but
gonna
that's
move over a little. I feel like I'm too close to you.
fine, Peggy. She doesn't want to be
I'll move
close
over
to it.
this
I
way.
just
Okay,
don't
do you
want
wanna
you.
move?
I know. I'm gonna check.
We're good. We're still all there.
I'm
Yeah,
still
you're there.
there.
I
You're
see
there.
you.
You're there. Okay. All right. So, my topic and book. Well, this is crazy because I've had this book since high school.
I can
tell.
see that.
It's called The Liveliest Art, and I was really
How much was it then? Is the price still in it?
$1.25.
Oh my God.
But I mean, this was for a class I was taking in school, and I was so intrigued by the early films and Charlie Chaplin and all that. And I have so many things underlined that I have no memory of doing. I don't even remember the teacher that taught this class.
Wow.
But I knew I just cherished this book. I cherished
I
the
love
book.
that.
You crossed something out
I think
here.
it was a boy I liked.
I was just gonna say Carol Ann, whoever.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it might have been a boy I liked, probably. But yeah, if I knew Peggy was around, I had to cross it out. I crossed it out a long time ago, probably when I got married. But yeah, so with the Golden Globes that just came, we did, and then we've got the Academy Awards and that kind of thing. I thought, what's the history about this? And I found this book. Actually, it was on my shelf. I kept it on my shelf. I don't know, there was just something about the history of learning about this and wanting to talk about it. And I was like, let me find the book. Let me find it. And I had it right there. So anyway, with the advent of radio and motion picture and vaudeville slowly died, replaced by shows that could be delivered to the home. Yet vaudeville left its mark on the American landscape. So, because I was thinking about that, you know how every time something new comes along, it gets rid of something else or puts something else in history. And so I knew vaudeville, I'm pretty sure I read about it in here about how that was, vaudevillians are really like very
They were the
upset.
stars of the day.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's funny because just last Sunday night, because on Sunday nights at 11 o'clock, I watch Dick Van Dyke's show, the old Dick Van Dyke's. And he had old vaudevillian actors on as part of the show.
Wow.
Yeah.
And these people I didn't even know. And and it was just like, oh, that was sweet. And at the time, I was like, whatever. So anyway, can you guess when the first Golden Globes would have been airing?
The Golden Globes
Oops, I'm sorry.
is people voting, individual citizens. Because the SAG Awards is
Screen
actors.
The
Right.
Screen
So I
And
think
Golden
the Golden
Globes,
Globes
I
are people.
think-
Or is that the Emmys? No, Emmys is TV.
Emmys is TV.
Yeah.
Of course, you
I
also
don't.
did
I'm
not
gonna
have the
say
answer
Golden
to.
Globes. I'm gonna say probably the 70s.
Let's say, I have no idea. 75, 76?
1944.
Oh wow, wow.
The Best Picture, you probably never heard of it. I'm sure you have The Song of Bernadette.
Oh my God, yes,
Yes,
yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
It was about Saint Bernadette.
Yes, and it was based on a book by Franz Werfel about a woman who claimed she had visions of the Virgin Mary.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I do remember that. Best Actress, Jennifer Jones
Oh wow.
for The Song of Bernadette.
Oh.
Okay, that makes sense.
Right, and the actor I never heard of, Paul Lucas, for in the movie was Watch on the Rhine, for his performance as Kurt Muller, a German-born anti-fascist in this film.
Oh.
So yeah, now the first Academy Awards.
That I know it was in the early 1900s. The Academy Awards.
I'm not going to be good at this topic.
The first
'cause
Academy
I don't
Awards.
usually watch these award shows, so.
Right, but
Yeah.
this is history.
I'm gonna say 1921.
You're pretty close. 1929.
I almost said 1929. I said no. I think it was a little earlier.
And isn't that interesting? Because it was right before the stock
I was going to
market
say
happened.
Yeah.
right before the depression.
Yeah.
So, and the Academy Awards, markedly different from what it is now because it consisted of a private dinner with 36 banquet tables
Okay.
where 270 people attended, and the tickets cost $5. And that's equivalent to $89 in
Oh, wow.
2023.
Wow.
Yeah. Actors and actresses arrived at the hotel in luxury vehicles, and the ceremony was not broadcast on radio, but it was hosted by Douglas Fairbanks during a 15-minute event.
15
15 minutes?
That's it?
What did they eat?
I know, right? Well, they must have just did like the awards, but like I don't
Oh,
think
and then they hung out and
Yeah,
ate
yeah.
afterwards.
Oh, yeah, that
Yeah.
would make sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
And but the winners had been announced 3 months ahead of the ceremony.
Oh.
So there's
There's no surprise.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no surprise. Some nominations did not reference a specific film. They were different categories that are no longer in existence that they don't do. an actor could be awarded for multiple films, which is different from, so you didn't watch the Golden Globes this year, right?
No.
And you didn't.
I usually don't watch them.
Yeah, I don't, and then I put it on and I'm like half interested to see what, see if there's going to be something
So
to talk
Golden
about.
Globes is movies also.
Yes, that's movies also. Yes, exactly. I'm sorry, my nose is dripping. Okay, so some of the best actress for the first one was Janet Gaynor, and she was honored for 3 films. Charlie Chaplin and Warner Brothers each received an honorary award. Are you familiar with Charlie Chaplin
Yes.
at all? Okay.
Charlie Chaplin, I was just reading about him the other day. He wasn't a very nice person.
No, he wasn't.
He wasn't.
No,
He married his first wife, I think was 14 years old.
I knew she was gonna.
Either 14 or 16, and he was 35. And then
Yeah.
when he was in his 50s, he married another teenager.
Yeah, no.
Well, who was the one? Oh, was it Poe? Edgar Allan Poe was like that.
I wasn't happy with that
I know,
either.
and was his cousin too.
Yeah,
I remember
I
she
wasn't
was
happy with
14.
that on
Right.
on multiple
know.
levels.
So I've got 2 different researches here. In the 1890s, yeah, my Sherlock is decided to play. In the 1890s, Thomas Edison's New Jersey lab created the first motion pictures, the kinescope, a device that allowed one person to view moving pictures, and it was demonstrated in 1891 and became a commercial success in 1894. But then I looked up that the Lumiere brothers presented the first projected movie pictures to a paying audience in Paris in 1895. But then it also said that the first movie ever made was Round Hay Garden Scene, a short film shot in 1888 by French inventor Louis Le Prince. So I got these 2 different, yeah, it's like, okay, all right, so maybe the Thomas Edison one was the
Was
only...
the first U.S. one? Or created the first motion pictures?
I wonder if any of these are still around.
The actual,
Yeah.
I'm sure they are, I would imagine.
The movies or the devices?
The devices.
Yeah, I would think so.
Probably in the Smithsonian
Or the
or something,
AFI.
you must have them.
Yeah, the American Film Institute probably has them. This is the first surviving instance of a motion picture, and it was shot using a single lens camera designed by Le Prince. And it was a major step in the transition from static photography to motion pictures.
Okay.
So, I'm not going to go into all the details here. So, remember how, well, you probably don't. You're still younger than us. I don't know if you remember, like, when Wizard of Oz, when the door opened and the
Yes.
color.
Oh
I
my
do
God,
remember
it
that,
was
yes.
like, oh.
Yeah, it was a
I
big
remember
deal.
that. Yeah, it
And
was a
we
big deal.
actually, as kids, our neighbor got a color television, the D'Amours, and they invited us over to watch The Wizard of Oz. And it was just so funny, because now I think about how he's playing with the ears on the TV, and it was all green screen,
Yeah.
and you're like, well, is she really green, or is it, But yeah, no, it was interesting. So when Dorothy opened the door, that was like a big deal. But the first color movie was A Visit to the Seaside. It was an 8-minute British short film, and it was in 1908.
Wow.
So, and that was the first color. It's like crazy. But I remember reading about D.W. Griffith in here, and he was a Hollywood director. Are you familiar with D.W.?
I thought he was a writer though.
Well, he was a Hollywood director who was called the father of film technique and the man who invented Hollywood. Question, I wanted to look this up before, maybe you know. Is the Hollywood sign still standing?
I was
Do we
trying
know?
to, I don't know.
I think it is
Right.
because it would have been all over the
Yeah.
news if that.
But I think it's
It
not
was-
out of the woods.
That's what
Yeah.
I heard,
Yeah.
and I was wondering.
Because I think Beverly Hills is still there too, and I think that's where the Hollywood sign is, near Beverly Hills.
I saw it when I was there, but I don't remember exactly, but it had to be near Beverly Hills. But the sign was built in 1923.
Wow.
And it was originally built as a billboard to promote a new real estate development in the Hollywood Hills, and it was originally called Hollywoodland. So, yeah, and the sign actually cost $21,000 to build, which is a lot of money then.
Yeah.
And it was intended to only last 18 months.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, which I thought was like, oh, okay, well, let's hope it can survive the fire. So D.W. Griffith, he was an interesting man. Like I said, he was a director. So he was known primarily for the film The Birth of a Nation. Have you ever seen that?
I have never seen it, but I know about it and how racist it was.
Yes, it was very racist. And he did not really apologize for it. But then he went to make another movie. Well, first he glorified the Ku Klux Klan and supported the Confederacy. And in this film, early on, it already created a stir, that there were protests, thank goodness. But then he made his next film in 1916 called Intolerance.
Oh, wow.
That was a big FU to people.
Yeah.
Because he felt his work was maligned. But
So he wasn't the intolerant one. The
No.
people who
Right.
didn't agree with him
exactly.
were intolerant.
Was that from the?
Yeah.
Yeah. It was a technical virtuosity. I mean, it was the film itself. The way that he did it was a big deal. So it was the first non-serial American 12-reel film ever made. It was part fiction, part history. It had the assassination of Abraham Lincoln. By John Wilkes Booth, and the relationship of two families in the Civil War. I really would like to see it.
Which one are you talking about?
Birth
now?
of a Nation.
Oh, okay.
Let's see, what else? And it was the first motion picture to be screened inside the White House, viewed by Woodrow Wilson, his family, and members of the cabinet.
Okay.
The next one is C.C. DeMille, and they have an award now for the Cecil B. DeMille man. And he had 70 features, both silent and sound films, and he is acknowledged as the founding father of American cinema and the most commercially successful producer, director in film history, with many of them dominating the box office 3 or 4 at a time. Can you imagine, like John Barber, he's the producer or whatever, and he'll say how back then, it's like now, these movies come out back to back, it's crazy. But then, they put so much effort into one movie, but now it's like you compete, it's like publishing with books.
Yes.
You're competing
They're
against-
flooding the market.
Exactly. So DeMille was an active Freemason and a member of Prince of Orange Lodge in New York City. His first biblical epic was The Ten Commandments. Now, did you ever see that
Yes,
movie?
I did.
I saw it a
Yeah.
long time ago,
Yeah,
yes.
and that was in 1923.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Crazy.
So I don't think I saw that version of it then, because in 1923 it would have been a silent film.
Okay, yeah, mine wasn't
Yeah,
silent. that
because I saw the one, The Ten Commandments, was Charlton Heston
That's the one
in
I
it,
saw.
or
Yeah, I saw that version.
yeah, that would have been in the
Yeah.
50s.
So this one, he directed The King of Kings, which was in
I saw that too with Jeffrey Hunter, and he was such a hunk.
Oh.
Remember, everybody was in
Dick.
love with Jesus. He played Jesus.
Well,
What's
that
his
was
name?
like.
Jeffrey Hunter.
Oh, I don't
Well, I
know.
don't
He
know.
died young. He died very young. He was
So
a good actor.
would it have been this version?
Not 1927.
Yeah,
No, that
I was
was a
gonna say.
remake also.
Jesus died young.
Yes.
Yeah, that's true.
Serious. Wow.
Truer thing never been spoken.
true.
Okay. All right, he made The Sign of the Cross, then Cleopatra in 1934.
I saw that.
And his was the first film to be nominated for the Academy Award for Best Picture. And then after more than 30 years in film production, he reached a pinnacle in his career with Samson and Delilah.
That was Jeffrey Hunter.
Yeah, he was probably
Oh,
He
gay.
was very, very
I was going to
handsome.
see that.
I think he was gay, actually. Well, they all
I
were. All the
don't know if
handsome
he
ones were.
was. I don't know if he was.
Okay, so he also received his first nomination for the Academy Award for Best Director for The Greatest Show on Earth.
Okay,
And was that
I
with
saw
Kirk
that
Douglas?
too. I don't know if it was Kirk Douglas. I don't remember who was in it, but I remember seeing it. So, and
Yeah.
that would have been the one I saw. The
Right,
50
and then
show.
the Ten Commandments.
Okay,
His
that's
last
another
one
one.
was
Right,
1956.
56. Okay.
Yeah, so that was, that's
Right.
crazy. So yeah, all these awards, they started getting more awards for these people. Let's see. So, the first animated cartoon. Do you know what?
Oh, it has to be a Disney,
gotta
and it
be
was
Steamboat
Mickey
Willie,
Mouse. Yeah, probably.
Maybe that one, or
Well,
Snow White,
film,
Snow
long
White.
film, Fantasia.
A French short, Phantasmagorie. It's a 1908 French short film. It's considered by many to be the first animated cartoon.
Oh, okay.
But I immediately followed by
Right.
Steamboat
Right.
Willie
Okay.
in 1928, and it was by Walt Disney,
Yeah.
who also wasn't a very nice man either. And it was produced in black and white by Walt Disney Animation Studios. And I do remember seeing, and it might have been for this class, like how they did these animated films, and it's like, it's just crazy how the patience.
That's the word I was thinking,
you have
because
to
I
keep
would
on
not
drawing
have the
them.
patience.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
There were one
Yeah,
drawing
after-
each
and then
just a
movement.
little
each movement.
tweak.
Yes, uh-huh.
Like those people who do the claymation. When you ever
Yes,
see
uh-huh.
yes.
Yeah.
I couldn't do that.
Yeah.
No, I would never have the
No.
patience. No. What about and the jazz singer with Al Jolson is the first talkie with the
Yeah.
synchronized dialogue, and
was
here
all
he is in
blackface,
black, in blackface, which is, and it's so crazy because even watching Turner Classic Movies, like there was something on, was it yesterday? And it was so inappropriate. And by today, I forget what it was, but I'm like, wow, you couldn't get away with that now. And I think it was the way they were treating the women. And it was
Yeah.
just like,
Well, a lot of the old movies, the
Oh,
way they
they
treated
did.
women, and women were portrayed as idiots,
and black people, how they were treated.
Amos
Wow.
and Andy.
Yes.
Remember Amos and
Yeah.
Andy?
We just saw an old movie, Guys and Dolls. Did I mention that?
Oh,
I had
okay.
not seen that, but they're doing a production in the high school.
that's
Oh, that
right.
was Frank Sinatra, right?
Yes, and
Yeah.
I said, let's watch it so we know what it's about,
Yeah.
because so that when you can look at it. And we watched it, and I'm sitting in the back looking at it, I'm
Yeah.
like, I don't like this
Yeah,
movie.
yeah.
The songs are so
I'm
inappropriate.
surprised
Yeah.
that they're doing that in the school.
It's West Iceland.
Yeah.
But
Our
that's-
school is doing The Addams Family. I can't wait
Oh.
to see it.
Oh, that's cute.
I would like that one, yeah.
That's
Riley's
cute.
not in it, but she's always in the pit band. So.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. The first movie theater in the United States was Vitascope Hall in Canal Street in New Orleans. And it opened in 1896 and was the first indoor movie theater to have seating. I'm guessing you've been to outdoor theaters.
Yes.
Oh, drive-ins.
Oh,
yes.
drive-ins,
yes.
Oh, drive
yeah.
Oh,
Drive-ins.
yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you two remember the first movie you've ever seen?
At a-
at
yes.
a theater or a drive-in, either or?
Oh, at a drive-in, it was The Blob. I
Oh,
remember
really?
that. Yes, not the remake of The Blob. They had a
Okay.
remake. And then at the movies, no, I don't remember. I do remember seeing Bambi in the movies with my family. I know you have a funny Bambi
Yeah.
story.
I don't know if I've shared it on the podcast
I don't know
before.
if you have, but it's cute.
I would say in a movie theater, it was probably a Godzilla movie. Because Kevin and I used to always go. They had the double features.
Right, right.
And in the drive-in, my sister Pat and her boyfriend at the time, who's now her husband for many, many years, used to take us to the Valley Stream in Green Acres.
Oh, I used to go to
the
that
drive-in
one too.
movie theater. And I think, I don't know if it was the first one, but I remember going to see a movie. It was called Jigu. It had Jackie Gleason was in it. And it was like one of those sad
I was going to say it was
ones.
sad, right?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So maybe that was it. I know that we saw that, and it was probably in the drive-in theater. So
The first drive-in where I lived, it wasn't on Long Island. It was in the rural area, but my mom definitely wanted to see Lilies of the Field with Sidney Poitier.
Okay.
And so my father came home from work, and they popped up a huge big bowl of popcorn, and we went to the theater, and it wasn't a station wagon, so we were all, the four of us kids were in the back seat.
Like looking.
Yeah, exactly. And you put the little speaker on it.
Yeah.
And so we watched it, and so we were all the way home, we were singing Amen, because
I
Amen.
know. That was such a great movie. I love that movie.
Yeah, my mom loved it. And then I remembered, I don't know if this is the one indoor theater, but for some reason, which is so unusual, my brother, older brother, Calvin, and his friend brought me with them to the movies to see Billy Jack. I don't know if you remember Billy Jack. He was like a vigilante fight for justice, but I mean, he was taking the law in his own hands.
Okay.
But I was like, I was rooting for him though, because a girl got raped and he went after her guys and they beat him up and he hurt them and, and I was like, Billy Jack. He was, it was very popular at the time.
Wow.
So I do remember that, but I didn't go to a lot of movies because I didn't, where I lived,
It was like 75 cents to go to the movies when I was a kid.
It's so.
And how much was the popcorn? How much would be like a bucket?
I don't know. We used to go to the candy store. We never bought candy in the movie theater. We used to go to the candy store and bring it with us.
Yes.
Now, did you have to sneak it in? Were you allowed to bring
Probably not. We probably just put it in our pocket or something.
Right.
I don't know how strict they were back then.
Right.
They were pretty strict because at that time they had ushers with the flashlights.
Oh,
and if you were talking
or making out with your boyfriend.
well, I was too little for that at the time. So
Yeah, so the first drive-in movie theater was built in Pennsauken, New Jersey on June 6, 1933.
you would think that it would have been earlier. I don't know.
Oh, really?
A drive. Well, I guess no, because people didn't have cars.
That's true.
Oh my God.
Yes, right.
That's
Now it's very hard to find one.
Yeah,
to go
I know.
to.
Most of them closed.
Yeah. Now, the first, I looked this up. I had to Google it. It's like, what was the first Shakespearean movie like that they put on film?
Romeo and Juliet?
No, I never heard of the Shakespeare. King John? I never heard of King John as a Shakespeare play. But it was a 4-minute silent movie, 1899, and it's often called the first Shakespeare film. Yeah. So, and then also I was like thinking, like, okay, there's so many people today that are grandchildren or great-grandchildren of these very famous people back then. And I couldn't find a whole lot, but I did find Drew Barrymore.
She's the one that came to mind.
The Barrymore family. And Charlie Chaplin has several children and grandchildren who went on into film, which I didn't realize that they went into film.
Teenage bride.
Yeah, it's from his teenage, really. So the rise of the blockbuster. So that was like 1970s. Movies like Jaws and Star Wars helped usher in the era of the blockbuster, which I never, the term blockbuster, I didn't think it was.
Gosh, they were big. I mean, I can remember the excitement thinking about seeing those movies.
When Jaws came out in the movie theater, me and...
Had you read the book first?
No, I never read the book.
Oh, I read the book first.
Me and Jimmy and Maureen and Roy said, all right, we went to our movie theater and we went in there and that opening scene.
Oh my God.
We actually, all 4 of us at the same time jumped up and started running out of the movie theater. We were so horrified, and then we got to the lobby, we said, no, we have to go back. Let's just go back and finish watching the movie. But that was so shocking.
Well, the music.
Yeah,
the music alone is brilliant. Just so simple but effective.
Yep.
Oh, absolutely.
Dun, dun.
Yep, I know.
Dun, dun.
And I think I heard John Williams talking about that and how it was just, it came to him instead of making something grand. Because like you were mentioning, I'll go back to Bambi.
Yeah.
Like when the music and
in the forest when the forest was burning.
Yes, and I'll tell the story real quick. So I brought Corey, my daughter at the time. She was about 3 or 4. It was a Mommy and Corey day, and I brought her to see Bambi. This let me know what kind of daughter I had because, the scene comes, the forest is going, and the music, and all the parents in the theater are comforting their children. And Corey tugs on my sleeve, and I'm like, it's okay, honey. And she goes, I know why all the animals are running away. And I said, I know, honey. And she goes, to get away from that awful music. And I was just like, oh my God, I'm in trouble. I'm in trouble. I was like, oh my God, that was the best. That was the best.
That is. It's a great story.
Yeah. So then the rise of CGI, which is computer-generated imagery, which I'm sure you like with your Jurassic Park. So movies like Terminator 2 and Jurassic Park laid the foundation.
Jaws 2 was CGI, right?
Well, no, that was a mechanical.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
Well,
CJ's computer.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, that was.
And
Yeah.
Titanic, I think there was elements
Yeah.
of the CGI.
Oh yeah,
right?
that would make sense.
Yes.
Definitely.
I know they did in big scales too,
Yeah,
but there was.
yeah.
It's just so funny. I just saw a clip too of Jeff Goldblum from years ago. No, baby, no. Years
Not
ago,
yet.
when it was right when Jurassic Park had come out, and he was a guest on Saturday Night Live. And you know how in the beginning, opening, you have people in the audience asking questions.
Yes.
And so one of the questions was like, "What did you feed the dinosaur?" And you're like, they weren't real. It was computer. And they're like, "But were you scared of
That was an adult?
It was the joke. It was the Saturday Night Live.
Oh.
I did think of you. Quiet. There was something on the Sunday morning about the movie, and I meant to tell you, just while we were talking about the park, is the New York Philharmonic. They do several showings. Every year they choose movies to show in the orchestra.
Oh, that would be
And
interesting.
this year it was Jurassic Park.
Oh, really?
And so they have the live orchestra playing the
Oh,
music.
I would have loved to
I
have
think
seen
you might
that.
still be able to get it because it's the season.
Oh, I'll have to ask because
Yeah.
Peter's brother-in-law is the cello and a bass player in the New York
Maybe we can
Philharmonic.
get you a ticket because they're very hard to get these tickets apparently to get, and they sell out. But Jurassic Park is one of the movies they're doing, and you get the live orchestra.
You would love
do
that.
I
movie.
would love
And
it.
yes.
I would love
Shit, I'm
that.
glad that you brought it up because I meant to
Oh,
say
that's
it
so
earlier.
fun.
I have to ask Blake.
Okay. And now streaming services are very popular on Netflix. It's just like how everything changes, and people aren't going to the theater as much as they used to. They're waiting for the movies to come on screen. What?
Well, that was what I wanted. The girls and I wanted to see Wicked.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
we were going to go over the holiday break to go see it in the movies. But, with the holidays are so busy, and there was
Yeah.
always something. And I said, okay, when I'm off on New Year's, we'll go see Wicked. But then I learned it was hitting the streaming services on New Year's Eve. And I go,
Okay.
let's just watch it. I mean,
And they were fine about that.
Oh, they preferred it. They
Yeah.
did prefer it because you get to
You
be
You can put it on pause, get up
Exactly.
and make
we
some
could get our own
popcorn
stuff and not
yeah.
spend a fortune. So we did buy it. It was $29.99. But I knew
It's
we would
still
watch
cheaper
it
than
again.
all of
Yeah.
you going to the movies.
Absolutely. And so we
Yeah.
can watch it again and again
Yeah,
whenever
I
we
heard
want.
it's wonderful. I haven't seen it
It
yet.
was very good.
You did enjoy it?
I did enjoy it. I enjoyed the musical. My girls seen the musical 3 times, so they love
Yeah.
Broadway
Right.
version. This was very good, and it's only version 1.
Yeah. That's
Yes,
what
I heard.
So
yeah.
I think
yeah.
you should watch it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I might.
Yeah.
You know, it's funny. I never wanted to see the Broadway play either until the last couple of years.
you
People
have
tell me, no, you have no idea how great it is.
It is
So,
great.
Yeah.
Really, it is
I just
very
bought
good.
tickets for me, Jessica, Riley, Tate, and Samantha. Cost a fortune to see Hamilton.
Oh, you did. Good for you.
I said, you know what? I
Oh,
want to
well
see
done.
it. They love it. Samantha's never seen it either.
Yes.
So we have tickets for April 26th.
Very good.
So,
Very close to your
Nice.
birthday.
I know. Well, I wanted to do it on her birthday for
Yes.
Jessica's birthday, but her birthday weekend is like precious to her.
Yeah.
So
Right.
she said, I said, I don't care. I just want to go see it, and I'd like to go with you guys. So.
Nice. Good for you.
Yeah,
Enjoy
so-
it.
Very nice.
Good.
Yeah.
Very, very nice. I think that's pretty much it. But yeah, that's my story, and I was inspired by this book, The Liveliest Art. I doubt that it's still in publication. And
You're much more of a movie connoisseur than I am. But I
Yeah.
have a question for you.
Oh,
It
dear.
might have been- No, it's nothing. How do you choose the movies you go to see? Like, are you influenced by the Oscars and the Golden Globes? No.
No.
Okay. So.
yeah, no, I'm not. It's usually the trailer. Let me correct this. The Tonys. When I saw the Tonys and I saw Les Mis, they did a scene from Les Mis, and it was up for a Tony. And I saw the scene and I'm like, I have to see that play. I have to see it. And I went to see it 3 times after.
Yes.
I had no idea how much I was going to love it, but that's the one
So
time
that's the one.
something I saw that I'm like, oh, I
Okay.
really had to see that. But no, usually, what usually inspires me, I guess the trailer, if I see the trailer, or, word of mouth. you know, sometimes, but sometimes I can already tell, like, nah, I don't think I'm gonna be into it. I mean, yeah, I'm trying to think if I've ever been, like, surprised, like I was wrong, like, oh, I like that much better than I thought I would, like, I don't know, like, I really don't think I'd like Wicked. I'm just such a purist with Wizard of Oz, that.
But it's not Wizard of Oz.
It's not
That's
Wizard
the
of
thing, you
Oz.
can't.
No.
That's what happened to me years ago when the book came out. I read the book because I loved the Wizard
Wicked,
of Oz.
yeah.
And then that made me not like the book. Because I said, oh, this isn't the Wizard of Oz. Oh, I don't like it.
Right.
And I didn't realize at the time that it was
Lacey.
a totally different story.
Oh, I
And
really
it's still,
think
that book is on the bestseller list again.
Yeah.
it's. I didn't want to see it initially, but we did go see it. I got the tickets for my niece when she was coming over from Ireland, but because I thought that would be a good play because we had a lot of variety of ages, you know.
Right.
And so I was like, okay, we'll go see it. Shocked how much I loved it.
Wow.
I really didn't
Well, that's
expect to love
good.
it. But I
That's
did.
good. That's
Yeah.
better than being like, oh, I was
No.
disappointed.
So
Yeah,
good.
one final note is that when with the Golden Globes, because like I said, I did. The reason I really wasn't interested in watching them because Nikki Glaser was hosting them, and I'm just not a huge fan of hers. It's like, oh, I don't know. And she came on, and she was very good.
I think she's funny.
And I was like, oh, okay, all right. So I changed my opinion about her.
Oh,
So
good.
yeah.
That's good.
So. But anyway, so that was the book and topic combined.
Yay, well done. Good topic.
And,
Very good.
and now I got to feed my dogs because they're
Yes.
very insistent. So,
Okay.
I mean, it's
All right,
after
bye,
4 o'clock.
everybody.
I guess that's
Bye,
why.
everyone.
We will see you
Bye.
next time.
Yes, indeed. It'll be for
So
number
long.
94.
See